ya, make una see ya. He don't come, make una see ya. Oh, make una see ya, make una see ya. He don't come, make una see ya. ASA-G, you are too much, verily, 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 you are too much, verily, verily. ASA, you are too much, verily, 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 you are too much, verily, verily.
Oh yes. Aha! My country people, it get to river one nakuna about A&G show with your host ASA-G. This show will keep you entertained for matters where they affect our country Nigeria. Matters like politics, health, religion, crime and security, sports, lifestyle and fashion, business, education, get out, entertainment, get out, even exclusive interviews for me and you, mama, papa, auntie, and uncle, for all of us. Keep a date with A&G show, a worldwide show with your host ASA-G, baby. This baby time, they want too much.
Make una see ya.
It is better to leave the audience when ovation is loudest. It is better to leave the audience when ovation is loudest. So then take home this point and look for someone that will interpret it for you. Because some of them, I know they know when to leave the audience, And I know they know when to leave the audience. Okay, right now, I want to take you on anyway, if you just tuned in, this is the ASA-G TV show, and my online meeting with Indian mothers. This is my online meeting with mothers. So this is August meeting, and that is why I'm dressed in this outfit. So my own version, what I have to contribute to the ongoing August meeting. So, have you subscribed to my YouTube channel, ASA-G TV? If you've not, please go to YouTube, search for ASA-G TV. You will see ASA-G TV, you will see ASA-G TV show. You can kindly subscribe to the two channels. So as soon as you subscribe, hit the notification symbol, that thing where they beside and be like bell, hit it so you can always get notified anytime our video drops. So today, when you hear that the president of the Federal Republic is GCFR is added to the name, do you know what it means? Okay, I want to teach you what GCFR means. Anytime you hear GCFR that is attached to the president's name, it means Ground Commander of the Federal Republic. It is a Nigerian national honor attached to the president. Grand Commander of the Federal Republic. That is, the G is grand, C Commander, F of the Federal Republic. Okay, that's not why I'm here today. I want to take you on listening for better communication. Listening for better communication. I'll be very brief because I have to develop another topic on one of my pages on Facebook. So most of you are the president, CWO, Catholic Women Organization. Most of you are the secretaries of your different parishes. So I don't know if you know what it means to have to listen for a better communication. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to take you on phone etiquette, another aspect. So listening for better communication. How do you listen for an effective communication to improve your comprehension when you are being communicated to? So listening is just as important to communication as speaking. Listening is very crucial, important. It's as important as the word speaking. Some of you don't know how to listen when somebody is communicating to you, even in your various groups. So it looks like a slight to whoever that is communicating to you, whoever that is addressing you at that moment. Your president might be communicating to you, you're making noise, you're doing side by side discussion with your, you know, that small gossip with your neighbor. You're not paying attention to the communication. So listening is as important as speaking. So listening is the other half of talking. When you listen, I'm talking to you now, you're listening, Abby. So it goes in pari passu, hand in hand. When you listen, you can say it is the other half of talking. When you listen, it's assumed that my communication is kind of gaining ground, because someone is listening to me with rapt attention. So listening can be said to be the other half of talking. So if people stop listening, it is useless to talk. If people stop listening, it doesn't make sense for me to talk or anybody. So for communication to make sense, there should be somebody somewhere that is paying attention, right? So for effective listening, it includes your mind, your eyes, your ears, and your memory. For that listening to make sense, for an effective listening to take place, your eye, your ears, your memory, and your mind comes into play. So for your mind should summon some logical reasoning to grasp the intended meaning of the speaker's message. So when I speak to you, your mind should be able to grab my message, be able to, retain some, so that when you get home, you can impart some to your, fellow women, your children, the ones that you're supposed to impart to your children. So I said you should summon your logical reasoning capacity to the real intended meaning of the speaker's message. Learn the difference between fact, opinion, and interference. Number 2 is your eyes. You should observe the speaker. As I'm talking to you now, I know you're observing me, maybe what I'm putting on, my bead, my scarf, my this, my that, So I said your eyes should come into play. You should observe the speaker, his posture, his gesture, like I'm gesticulating with my hands, you can see what I'm doing. It's called gesticulation. So you watch my posture, how am I standing, how am I sitting, my gesture, my facial expression. I could just wink my eyes, or shake my head or do, So it comes into play, my posture, my gesture, my facial expression, my mannerism, the manner at which I talk, and then movement. All these things combines to making an effective communication take place. So number 3 is your ears. You listen carefully to the person's voice, whether it is pleasant, whether it is harsh, whether it is reassuring, whether it is authoritative. I'll take that again. Your eyes is part of the major things that come into play while communication is going on. I said your eyes, your ears, your mind, and then your memory. For an effective listening to take place. So now I'm talking about your ears. You listen carefully to somebody's voice when the person is communicating to you. Why are you listening? As you're listening, as you're paying attention to, let me take myself for example now. You're trying to assess me. Am I authoritative? Am I reassuring? Am I harsh? Am I pleasant? Am I, different things will be, coming to your mind as you're listening to me right now, or whoever that you're listening to. So your ears is listening, you're analyzing what kind of voice, what kind of is it pleasant, what I'm saying, is it harsh, is it reassuring, is it authoritative, or weak? Because it can be weak as well. If it is weak, it might not really even make sense to you. You might think that the person is joking. So how about the rate of my speaking? How I pause? Do I project my voice? Am I loud? Let's go to number 4, your memory. Your memory try to recall as possible as it can the topic at hand. Abi, like I'm saying this thing now, maybe you remember that maybe I titled it communication, effective listening, better listening, listening for better communication. It is your mind that will, try to recall the topic if possible. Are you hearing new or different information? Anything the speaker said or omit by any chance? What and why? So your mind keeps recurring and try to have a solid basis for comparison and contrast, compare and contrast. So I don't know, I also want to take you on reasons for listening. The following are some major reasons why some people listen. They listen to enjoy, they listen to become informed, they listen to understand, they listen to evaluate. I don't know if I should take you quickly on those 4 before I call it, I wrap up here. Okay, let me quickly take you on the reasons why people listen to communication. I said there are 4. I have 4 points here. Some people listen because they want to enjoy the being communicated to them. They listen because they want to be informed. They listen because they want to understand what is being communicated to them. They listen because they also want to evaluate what is being communicated to them. To enjoy, I mean, for example, a pleasant conversation, listening to music, watching a movie, or a TV show like the one I'm doing right now, for relaxation, is listening to enjoy. So you should be relaxed and, as you're listening to enjoy. So to become informed while you're listening, the second point. So if you want to be informed while you're listening to a conversation, a communication, or while you're being communicated to, you want to be informed, right? So you seek new information. Maybe what I'm passing to you, the message I'm passing across to you now, is not like it's new, or you've not heard it from anywhere. Maybe you've not heard it from me, and that is why you want to listen to know what ASA-G has brought to the table today, for discussion. So there are many reasons people listen to communication, conversation, or why they are being communicated to. So I said some people listen because they want to be informed. Why? Because they want to seek for new information. Like you listen to the radio, TV for announcement, or you attend a seminar, a lecture, or business or social meeting, and those are so many areas where you can get new information. Your electronic media, like the social media, um, television, radio, you read newspaper, magazine, you attend convention, seminar, lecture, and all that. So another point is some people listen to understand. So how often have you formed an opinion of a speaker over what the person is saying? So many people find listening to understand most difficult. Many people find listening to understand most difficult. I don't know if you get my point. Some people find it difficult to understand while listening to a communication conversation, or why they are being communicated to. Okay, let me take this. Many people find listening to understand most difficult because it requires fair-mindedness, restraint, objective thinking, and more. So many of the world's problems have resulted from selfishness, disregard of others' opinion, and a failure to attempt honestly to understand another's viewpoint. Listening to understand doesn't mean that you must agree or disagree, but that you must approach the subject with an unbiased, open mind. You must also listen totally to the message, striving to understand why and what is being expressed. Allow yourself to grasp the entire message before you react. So don't be quick to react. First of all, understand what the message the speaker is trying to convey, pass across before you can react. So some people listen because they want to evaluate. That is another point. You listen because you want to evaluate. So listen because you want to evaluate. Of all types of listening which I have mentioned, evaluation listening is the most difficult and the most um, crucial because it requires much effort. There are numbers of questions to bear in mind when listening to evaluate. Number one is, what is the main purpose of the discussion? All right. Is this discussion informative, like what I'm doing right now? Is it informative? Is it entertaining? Is it persuasive? Is it motivational? Those are the questions that will be going through your mind while you're listening, because you want to evaluate, where is my point directed to? Where am I headed to? What point am I trying to prove? What am I trying to say? Am I here to entertain you? Am I here to inform you? Am I here to educate you? Of all, you could, at the end of your analysis, you might find out that I'm here to do virtually the 3 points: to entertain you, to educate you, to inform you, and more. So those are the things you'll be asking yourself. Am I making some logical and valid points? Is my argument convincing, or what I'm saying, is it convincing, or are they based on my opinion? Maybe I'm opinionated. I don't want to welcome another person's point of view. You also evaluate if the speaker is an authority on the subject, like whether the person is an expert on the subject he or she is discussing. So you can clearly understand the speaker's message. So do all these things put together. How to be a better listener. That is what I brought to you today, didn't it? So that some of you are in the executive position, so you should also learn and teach your members how to become a good listener. And like I said before, so I think that's where I'll be ending today's this episode in particular on this page. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe. The name is ASA-G TV on YouTube. I have two channels, ASA-G TV Show and ASA-G TV. So kindly go to YouTube, search for ASA-G TV, subscribe, hit the notification symbol, and I promise to entertain you, educate you, and inform you with the latest trending across the globe. So I want to sign out until I come your way again with another interesting episode on the ASA-G TV show. I am the evolving ASA-G. ASA-G, your regular host on the show. I love you all. Kindly subscribe to my channel. Okay.